The world has always seen Al Roker and Deborah Roberts as one of the most steady, uplifting, and inspiring couples in American media, a picture of warmth, resilience, and partnership. Together, they've weathered storms in the public eye, health scares, demanding careers, and personal challenges that stretch them in ways most of us will never fully understand. But behind every bright smile on morning television, behind every polished interview and family photo, there lies another layer the public rarely sees. And now, after months of mounting pressure, a deeply emotional moment has quietly pushed Deborah to her breaking point. Today, we dive into the powerful and intimate confrontation that has rippled through their home, a moment so raw, so overwhelming, that it has left friends, colleagues, and even longtime viewers stunned. Deborah Roberts has always been known for her grace, professionalism, and remarkable emotional strength, a woman who has balanced decades of journalism, motherhood, and caregiving with poise and compassion. But even the strongest hearts can only hold so much before the weight becomes too heavy. Over the past several months, subtle cracks have begun to show beneath the surface, not in their marriage itself, but in the toll that life's pressures have taken on both of them. Al, after years of health battles, long hospital stays, and intense recovery periods, has been doing everything in his power to stay strong, energetic, and engaged. Yet the emotional aftermath of those battles doesn't disappear easily. For Deborah, the constant worry, the late-night hospital visits, the caregiving responsibilities, and the fear of what if have quietly built up over time. And recently, something shifted. According to people close to the couple, a moment unfolded behind closed doors, far away from cameras, far from the cheerful energy of morning news studios, that forced both Al and Deborah to face emotions they had kept buried for far too long. Insiders say the confrontation wasn't loud or dramatic. In many ways, that made it even more powerful. It wasn't an argument. It wasn't a fight. It was an eruption of years of exhaustion, fear, and emotional strain that neither of them knew how to express until it finally spilled over. It happened one evening in their private residence. Deborah, after a long day, was quietly checking on Al, asking if he needed anything. Something she has done countless times over the years. But this time, something inside her shifted. The concern, the love, the responsibility, it all collided with a deep exhaustion she had been ignoring for months. Her voice trembled. Tears surfaced. Words she had been holding back for months finally poured out. She wasn't angry at Al. She wasn't frustrated with him. She was scared. Scared of losing him. Scared of the next health scare, scared of watching the man she loves fight battle after battle without taking enough time to heal emotionally, not just physically. For Al, who has always been the optimist, always the one reassuring everyone else, the moment hit deeply. He realized he had been trying so hard to be strong that he hadn't seen how much of the emotional burden Deborah was carrying for both of them. The room fell heavy with emotion. Deborah's voice cracked as she spoke truths she had kept locked away, truths about fear, burnout, and the deep need for both of them to slow down, breathe, and truly take care of each other. And then it happened. The moment nobody expected. Deborah quietly stepped away, not in anger, not as a rejection, but because she needed to breathe. She needed space to calm her heart and gather herself. She slipped out of the room with tears still in her eyes, walked down the hallway, and sat alone in the silence of another room. No cameras, no colleagues, no audiences, just a woman carrying the weight of love, worry, and years of emotional strain. Her brief departure sent ripples through their inner circle. Friends were concerned, not because the marriage was in danger, but because it was clear that Deborah, the pillar of strength, had reached a point where she needed support just as much as she had been giving it. As for Al, those close to him say the moment shook him deeply. He suddenly understood the toll his battles had taken not only on himself, but on the woman who had stayed by his side through every hospitalization, every diagnosis, every sleepless night. In the days that followed, Al reportedly withdrew into quiet reflection, cutting back on outside commitments, sitting with his emotions, asking himself difficult questions about how to better balance his health, his family, and the expectations of a demanding public career. This wasn't a fracture, it wasn't a dramatic split, it was a wake-up call. A deeply human moment between two people who love each other fiercely, but who have finally recognized that even the strongest partnerships need moments of reckoning. For many, this story is a reminder that behind every polished television segment, behind every award-winning career and beautiful marriage, lies a very real human experience filled with fear, love, vulnerability, and hope. This chapter in Al and Deborah's life isn't the end of anything. If anything, it may be the beginning of a new, more intentional chapter, one where they lean on each other more gently, more openly, and more honestly than ever before. And as this story continues to unfold, we'll be right here, following each development. If you want to stay updated on Al Roker, Deborah Roberts, and the many beloved figures you follow, make sure to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and stay connected with our growing community.